When Jack is heartbroken that Alice is trying to break free of the simulation, it seems as though Jack plays threatening music about possessing her. He owns her, and she better behave, which is reflected in the tone he takes with her when she confronts him about something being wrong with this place. But then when Alice wakes up after her walk into the desert, she's wondering what happened, questioning herself. And the music adds to it by threatening her, telling her to behave, little girl, and just be happy with your man because you already have everything you could ever want. Don't you love me? Say you love me because I ain't ever gonna let you go. Alice tries to put it out of her mind, tries to keep living life as normal, but Frank challenges her to trust her intuition, to be loyal. Well, who is she supposed to be loyal to? There are 4 different tones to the messages being conveyed through the music and Frank's speeches in Don't Worry, Darling. There's a soothing, positive tone about love and reuniting male and female. There is an encouraging message about going after what you want and trusting your intuition. There is a rewarding tone when Alice does go after what she wants. There is also a punishing tone that seems to come from both Jack for betraying his love and from the simulation, or Frank for betraying the rules of the simulation. Jack manages Alice's mundane life, whereas Frank manages Alice's metaphysical side. Jack is focused on being devoted to the simulation through chasing promotion, sex, upgrading his house, having a baby, and through his relationship with Alice. Frank appeals to Alice's inner subconscious desires, fears, integrity, and true-heartedness. Alice's awakening began before we were introduced to Frank's speeches, but it's clear that his speeches are what prompted her to take action. Music is a very powerful medium. It has the ability to trigger memories in great detail. Music plays a role in activating the olivary glands that secrete the Christos oil. When we hear certain songs associated with great films, we are instantly brought back to our feelings associated with the memory of that cinematic moment, and with that time in our life when we watched that film. Typically, music is used to underscore subtext to say what isn't being said in the dialogue. And if you pay close attention to the music played in the background of your own life, you will notice this happens in real life also. The purpose of music is to embed a memory that will later be triggered when the song is played again and again until you are ready to receive the hidden message within. In Don't Worry, Darling, these messages are consistently reflective of the current situation and of who is in the room with Alice at the time. Sometimes the message appears to come from the women, Jack, Frank, or the simulation itself. The purpose of the Victory Project is to go through the awakening process so they can live the life they deserve on the other side. These songs and speeches may appear to be coming from the simulation or Frank because Frank is the messenger, but they are coming from Alice's subconscious. It is coming through from the other side, filtered through her subconscious, and presented to her via the simulation so that she can become consciously aware of it. Everything is serving Alice in her awakening process, even when it seems to be trying to keep her in the simulation, such as with Jack and Bunny, because when Alice has no one to turn to, it forces her to go within and trust her intuition. The only way Alice can exit out is if she finds the strength to leave everything behind and trust in herself. The music and Frank's speeches are devices used by Alice's subconscious, serving as a guide through the simulation in order for her to find her way back home. Whenever Alice is happily lost in the simulation, she gets happy love songs, but underneath, her subconscious is telling her that there's more to this place because the message of reunification with her other half is hidden within it. The tone of the music changes slightly when Alice starts seeing the holes after the first earthquake and seeing Margaret with the plane. Alice breaks the eggs listening to You Broke My Heart in Two, and she's humming Jack's song. The song is not exactly threatening yet because she hasn't done anything, but she is starting to question the nature of her reality, so there is a darkness or bitterness in it. When the ladies discuss Margaret, the song turns threatening. Go against the rules and you'll end up like Margaret. You'll be sorry. Margaret triggers fear in Alice, as I discussed in part 3. Bunny can be both loving and cheerful. domineering and controlling because she's protective of the simulation. Frank, in his hypnotic style of speaking, encourages his people to pursue their desires, yet we only ever see Alice listening to Frank's radio hour. The women never discuss Frank's radio hour, so does anyone else actually hear it? To Alice's ears, it encourages her to face her fear, which prompts her to go out to the desert even though she wasn't consciously sure why. When she does follow her intuition and face her fear, she's rewarded with positive music. She's gaining knowledge, and to know him is to love him. When Jack is heartbroken that Alice is trying to break free of the simulation, it seems as though Jack plays threatening music about possessing her. He owns her, and she better behave, which is reflected in the tone he takes with her when she confronts him about something being wrong with this place after she witnessed Margaret end her life. Jack pushes back with, "Not everyone gets this opportunity, and if you keep talking like this, you're going to put it all at risk." Alice assumes he means he's concerned with getting demoted, but he replies, our life together, we could lose this. But then when Alice wakes up after her walk into the desert, she's wondering what happened, questioning herself. Was it just a bad dream? Jack treats it like nothing had happened, so she doubts herself, and the music adds to it by threatening her, telling her to behave, little girl, and just be happy with your man because you already have everything you could ever want. Don't you love me? Say you love me because I ain't ever gonna let you go. Alice tries to put it out of her mind, tries to keep living life as normal, but Frank challenges her to trust her intuition, to be loyal. Well, who is she supposed to be loyal to? He can't protect her if she isn't loyal to what she knows to be true. Frank even says the people who believe in the status quo are coming for us. He puts himself and Alice together as one. This puts the pressure on Alice, and she's squeezed between a wall and a window, a rock and a hard place. Doesn't she know it's the end of the world? She betrayed Frank, but more importantly, she betrayed herself. So Alice is getting pressure and threatening messages from both sides. Stay loyal to Jack and the simulation, or stay loyal to Frank and herself. But isn't Frank the embodiment of the simulation? Remember the chant from the promotion party, whose world is this? Alice. This moment is followed by Alice getting a call from Margaret saying she knows she saw it. The tower in the desert. But instead of listening to her friend, she hangs up on her. Then Alice sees Margaret end her life, and she's deeply disturbed by it. Alice doesn't want to appear crazy, so she continues to play along, but going against her intuition makes her depressed. Alice doesn't enjoy what she used to do. She's sleepwalking. She doesn't know what to believe. She's checked out, going through the motions. She watches the Victory Project propaganda commercials and feels like she's drowning in it. She wraps her head in saran wrap. The doctor comes over and denies what happened to Margaret. She submerges herself in the bath, and her husband encourages her to have a baby so they stay loyal to the project because she belongs to Jack. The promotion party shows how alone Alice is. She tried to tell Bunny the truth, and she rejected her just as she rejected Margaret. Alice throws a party to celebrate Jack's promotion and even invited Frank and Shelley to attend. Frank is disappointed in her and challenges her to stand up to him, to believe in herself and what she knows because he knows she's the one with ears to hear and eyes to see. Alice stands up to Frank but makes a show of herself, and no one believes her. She looks crazy. Did he set her up? Jack has Alice committed, and she undergoes electroshock therapy. She comes back to Jack and Bunny refreshed or mentally rebooted. The message is positive once again, but different. This time, the paradise, the dream, is her. Then, as she's making Jack dinner later that night, she hums Jack's song and Jack hums it too, triggering her to remember her other life, and her race to return home begins. This is the end of part 7. Stay tuned for part 8 coming soon. If you like this video, please show your support for my channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute. Contributions over $15 will receive a link to the Johnny Depp Dark Shadows material, so please be sure to include your email address. Kindly visit my website, subscribe to my backup channels, join the Discord group. All links are in the description box below. Thanks for listening. Hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.